warmed up. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pod-Crust, an irrelevant podcast for irrelevant people. I'm your irrelevant host, Bucket Crust, and with me today is a friend of mine, Will. He's been here before, and it's been a while. Say hi.
I can't belch right now. Soda.
You don't have to do it every time.
I don't, but
All right. Yes, one of two only fucking co-hosts at my disposal until some of these people I sent emails to start responding to me. Nah, I'm joking. I don't actually contact people. Maybe I should. I could see about getting some people on to talk to for an hour and a half. Might bring in viewers. Either way, for now, you're stuck with me and Will or
oh
Gage
boy.
when he's here. So we're gonna have a debatey kind of podcast today because I've noticed that depending on who's in here, it's either one of two styles. If it's with you, we usually bicker about something, and if it's with Gage, he's just talking about like stupid meme stuff.
No, not always.
Yeah. So anyway, how have you been recently, Will?
Pretty good.
Good to hear.
Busy, but doing pretty good.
Yeah, you got yourself a truck.
Yeah, I did. Brand new truck today.
Nice. What'd you say it was?
2019 1500 Chevy Silverado.
Nice. It's pretty new.
Actually, this is the weird thing about cars. No, it is not. I mean, yes, it is the quote unquote current one
No,
out,
I
but
know they year them like, stuff coming out this year's like the 2020, whatever. Car years are weird. I've never seen a car calendar. One moment. You
well,
you
apparently
talk.
trucks also work in this way. All right, the 2018, when they were, when they were done making that one, and the 2019 came out. Basically, the first 2019s were just the 2018s, with just yeah, I don't know what was the fucking difference. But then they actually came out the 2019s, which just had a different body, but pretty much everything was the same.
Yeah, I don't know how cars work.
All you need to know is they would try to rip you off as much as possible.
Oh,
In your case,
obviously.
you're probably not going to be able to get a new car at all.
Why is
Even
that?
all right, even if you have enough money, let me give a good example here. My brother last year got himself a new car.
Okay.
Now he had enough to put down half of what the car was worth up front.
Okay.
Because if you know anything about car shop, and usually you have to put down a down payment, then you
Yeah.
pick if you're going to lease or finance. If you're not
Yeah.
just buying it all. Anyway, so he's putting down half what that car's worth, and it was worth about like $31,000
Okay.
without any deals or anything. So he's putting around $16,000. They told him that he could not get on they would not finance
Why not?
because he has not owned or not owned. He has not been paying any car payment. This is the same shit with like credit card. You need to
uh,
have car payments in order to get car payment.
you need to have a credit score before you can earn a credit score.
No, you just need, I no, I everybody has a credit score, good, bad, or whatever.
Technically,
Technically,
yeah.
I have a credit score. I've had like two or three credit cards. I technically am still a risk, even though all right now my credit score is okay thanks to my fucking previous company, but last year it was like immaculate.
Mm.
Even with an immaculate credit score, because I was going on for a Marriott rewards card because I was traveling a lot, so I figured I'd get the card that my hotel uses.
Right.
Even with that, even with a great credit score, good money I was making, they're like, no, you're a risk. Why? Well, you haven't had enough credit cards.
Well, it's
Okay,
supposed to
how
be
many
like
should I have?
it's supposed to be like symbolic of a level of trust, like they can trust you if you have a good credit score. So even if you have a lot of money and you make a lot of purchases and you handle your finances well, without that credit score to represent you handling your finances well, they don't know. They just have to go off what you tell them, and that's not good enough for them.
I think regular pay on a card, a regular job which you have actually good, you have a good standing with the bank. You make regular payments with your apartment. You would think all that plus you've paid off your fucking car, that would mean that hey, this guy's actually a trustworthy guy. Let's
No,
give him a shot.
no,
No,
no.
apparently not. No, you need to be in credit card debt in order to get seventh card.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the easiest way to do it, if you are smart with your money, is to just go ahead and, just occasionally charge stuff with credit and then make sure it's paid. That's pretty much the easiest way to build your credit score.
But that's what I've done. That's what
Yeah,
I've done for like the last 5 or 6 years here. I just haven't had enough credit cards.
yeah. For example, my parents for the longest time have just used a debit card because, they, like, why bother? But recently my mom got herself a credit card just because, you need that credit score, and it's not like it's any trouble because, she only buys stuff that she has the money for, but
Right.
it's just to build credit score, and it's this weird system that really. The more you think about it, the more it kind of falls apart. But it seems like one of those things that it's easier to just keep using than to get rid of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever. So,
Enough to piss me off though.
yeah, well, you managed to get your car, so that's good.
Yeah, I did. I mean, they gave me a decent price. What it was is they found a demo pickup truck, and it's not the demo man's pickup truck. Or you say anything smart ass.
I wasn't planning on it.
I I really don't fully understand what makes it a demo pickup truck other than it just has 3,000 miles on it as opposed to a couple hundred.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't on the show. It wasn't on the showroom floor, babe.
Hmm. So, yeah, like, they took you around back and they were like, well, we got this one here, been through some. I guess.
Well, whatever it was. I mean, I got a pretty good deal on it.
Oh, that's good. I'm looking up what the difference of, like, what a demo car exactly
She's
is.
telling me the difference is because like people drive it. It's basically like a showroom truck.
Well, I have the description here. Demo. Okay, what is a demo car? Demos are new cars that have been driven by the dealership staff or as test drive vehicles by interested customers. Oh, so okay, that makes sense. So it's the car they use as a demo. They're like, hey, you want to try out this car? Drive this one around. That's their demo car. That makes okay.
Hmm.
I I thought demo meant something else in this instance, but no, it's literally just their demonstration vehicle. All right, so you got the one they drove a bunch of hicks around in. Nice.
Actually, no, it still has this new car smell. So I'm not. My only gripe is that it doesn't have power seats.
Well, I doubt, like, you'd take a car for a test drive around like 5 minutes and you're just ripping ass the whole time, just blowing out the fucking windows with the gas buildup. I'm pretty sure that would put you on poor standing with the dealership. Also, hey everyone,
Yeah.
sorry I didn't say it, so say it yet. Yeah, April Fools. It's actually a pod-crust. I lie. I got you. Oh, that transition. I'm having a stroke. Transitions us into our next topic. I think April Fools. What a fun day to be on the internet, huh?
That wasn't done with the. Well, we can go into dealership shit later here and how fucking frustrating. Because yeah, you're right. April Fools. April Fools. I wasn't done, faggot.
Okay, well, you want to finish with your
No, 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 no. There's actually some interesting April Fool shit out right now, and
All right. So, what
very
was your
depressing.
favorite April Fool's joke pulled today?
By far, it's got to be the rabbits. I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, for those of you not in the know, uh, For Honor, a Ubisoft game that has been going downhill recently, uh, added a little update, and they changed all of the NPC minion enemies in the game into rabbits because Ubisoft. I wasn't too surprised by this, seeing as how instead of a winter themed event, they just went and fucking made an Assassin's Creed event to stroke their fat fucking ego in our faces. But it's cute. I like it. It's pretty cute. I haven't touched the
I
game in like weeks now though. I've just been fed up with it.
I didn't think they would do it just because the French don't have any humor.
Well, I don't know. It's a cute little joke. I like it.
Oh, it is. I'm again surprised by that one. We've got some good
Then
last man
again,
standing off against furry joke.
yeah. Then again, did you see what they did for Siege?
No, I did not.
Pink. Bright fucking neon pink. Everything is like 8-year-old girl style My Little Pony pink. Gage, get the
Like
fuck
pink.
out of here!
I kneeled during the
Jesus Christ!
anthem. I kneeled during the anthem. That's my April Fool's joke on the entire country.
Okay, thanks. God, I had to turn my volume up for you, and he was loud as shit.
Yeah, he was pretty loud.
Alright, well, there's our guest appearance from Gage. Anyway, yeah, in Rainbow Six Siege, it's like this big fucking. Let me see if I can pull an image up for the stream. Because I remember seeing the video, they used the My Little Pony font. So, Siege, April Fools. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Rainbow is magic. So, I'll put this up.
When you said pink,
Oh,
I'm
did that?
thinking like
It's
textures missing color.
no, not missing textures, but hold on. I fucking you know what's always great is when you try and download a picture and then it
Try
goes and
so hard.
fucking saves like a URL. There you are. Yes, an image. Alright, where here? Give me a second. I'll put this up. Y'all can see. It's fucking retarded. So here's what Siege is doing. Rainbow is magic. Everything's bright pink and neon colored. There's butterflies and unicorns and rainbows, and it's pretty fucking funny. And
Sorry, where did you put this at?
it's on the stream.
Oh, well, go on your stream.
Yes, indeed. Uh, I think it's pretty funny. Don't shoot my papillons. French for butterfly. Uh, it's pretty cute. Though I find it odd that their event is going from today to the 8th. So it's like a whole fucking week. I don't know. I think by that point people will be tired of it and they're like, yeah, April Fool's, very funny, guys. Seriously, stop, please.
Fools, it doesn't end.
You're the fool. You're still playing Rainbow Six Siege. You are the fool. God, don't mean to shit on Siege players, but it's cute. I don't know if the For Honor one is only for today though. If it's only today, then yeah, that just shows what games they care about. Anyway, so that's your favorite one, the For Honor.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many though because I've been either at work or at a car dealership most of today.
Mine, I think my favorite one was Payday Royale. Overkill earlier made an announcement on Steam announcing that they were gonna essentially make a Payday 2 Battle Royale game. I thought that was kind of funny. It was funny, but it wasn't really a prank. It wasn't really
Valve just did that a little while ago with one of their games.
Yeah, CS:GO. Boy, what a fucking decision. I mean, CS:GO has a pretty fucking what's the word? Iconic gameplay style. I don't know why they felt they needed to copy that, but whatever. And getting back
Isn't
to the
it pretty
topic,
much battle royale though?
it
Considering
is.
it's like one hit kill.
It's not one hit kill, but they have like the
I mean,
weapons that
you know what I mean, like one life per round.
yeah, it's kind. I've never played CS:GO, so don't come in here and shit in my mouth, please and thank you. Anyway, getting back to the topic, I've seen a lot of stuff being announced that were not really that were not really pranks. Uh, Bethesda announcing New Vegas 2.
Okay.
Valve, the TF2 team saying they were doing an AMA.
I like that one.
The thing is, these aren't really pranks.
Yes, they are.
No, because here's the
just
thing.
mean spirited pranks.
No, but like they're mean-spirited jokes, yeah, but they're not really pranks. The essence of a prank is getting someone to believe something, and then the moment where you go like, "Ha! Pranked you," and you reveal that it was all a ruse. But
They
that's
did do
not
that.
really what this is. No one actually thinks they're making a New Vegas 2. No
Okay, now
one.
theirs wasn't. That one was a bad one.
Now, maybe people believed that the AMA was real, but honestly, that one's really mean spirited. Because everyone wants to get in contact with the TF2 team because it's been fucking radio silence for weeks, months now, I think. And it's kind of saddening.
One of the few TF2 YouTubers I watch, I mean, other than Bucket, of course, um, that
Obviously,
Tyler
who wouldn't
McVicker
watch
guy,
me? Who?
he talked about, Valve News Network.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, he talked about like they're actually just keeping hush hush about what they're actually doing. I didn't expect anybody to actually, get Valve to talk about shit.
Right. Well, I mean, if they want to keep quiet about what they're working on to avoid the rabid backlash of "Why aren't you removing random crits? When are we getting new weapons? I don't like the pyro remove." That bullshit. I can understand, but at the same time, I miss the blog updates because even if it's just once a month, just knowing that they're still there and they're still working it's inspiring. It's heartening. It keeps you
Well,
motivated.
they have done that much. At least they've shown that they at least have like 15 people working on the game,
Yeah, and that's nice. There's
but they
a
won't talk about what they're doing, which I get why they
yeah.
won't. Which is they didn't like you said, they didn't like the backlash of
Well,
people finding out what exactly the
yeah.
update was going to be.
It's
But
also
at the same
pretty
time, I
easy
feel like
to
that's just very babyish.
yeah. I mean, at this point, everyone assumes that they're working on the heavy update. Now, if they reveal that this whole time they've been working on a different update and the heavy update was coming next, and they just didn't want to be bugged because they're adding something, who knows? Maybe this whole time they've been finishing RD Asteroid. That would be great.
Suppose.
That would be great. I'd love that. But if they were working on something different and they didn't want to be bugged and just let everyone think they're working on the heavy update, that's fine. But if it turns out they were just working on the heavy update this whole time, it seems like a waste, really, because there was all this influence you could have been building. You could have gotten people interested, got people back in the game, saying, "Oh shit, there's gonna be a new big update. We haven't got one in fucking a year now." You know. But as it is, the radio silence is just kind of maddening. So that one,
Oh,
that joke, the not doing the AMA, that was kind of sad and mean spirited. But I don't really hold it against them because they're still working and they don't realize just how fucking barren we feel with all this. So I won't be too hard on them for that. But the
yeah.
Fallout New Vegas 2 one, that one's just sad. Because I'm pretty sure
That type of brain cell knows that they can't anyway.
everyone just gathered around and looked at him and was just like, "Wow, that's. Do you have any idea how miserable you've made yourself look in contrast?" Because New Vegas 2, assuming this was a real thing, no one would ever want Bethesda to make another Fallout game ever again. Hell, I know there are plenty of people out there who are pretty much demanding that Bethesda give the rights to Fallout back to Obsidian so that they can make games and not just merchandise. Do you know how much licensed fucking merchandise Bethesda is selling for Fallout shit nowadays?
Mm,
They have they
I
have
really don't know. I haven't looked at their store in a while.
it not just in their store. Like, go to any fucking store, you'll find Fallout shit everywhere. Not just the apparel, like the shirts and the jackets and all that, but Fallout wallets, Fallout shot glasses, Fallout beer fucking bongs, Fallout bongs, Fallout journals, Fallout cookbooks, Fallout fucking duffel bag, Fallout soap,
Condom wrappers.
Fallout air freshener. That one's real. It's a car fucking air freshener. My brother
I
got.
believe it.
It's real. My brother bought one.
I think I
It's
got that in a loot crate once, actually.
yeah. but there's more Fallout merchandise than there are copies or versions of Skyrim out there. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm not
I mean,
saying
that's just the wave of the future, dude. I
I'm not
mean,
I'm
hell,
not
look at
saying
fucking Fortnite.
yeah, I'm not saying merchandise is a bad thing, but it honestly feels like they care more about merchandise than they do the actual games. Cause look at the fucking train wreck 76 was.
I
It's
would, I
just
wouldn't point in that light. I would say it's more just the easier way to make a quick buck here, because if your platform is good, which I mean, except for Fallout 76, it is.
yeah.
People are gonna want to eat up fucking merchandise
Yeah,
left
and
and
they're
fucking
trying
right.
to I guess they're trying to recoup their losses from 76 through merchandise, which is fine. But again, by
No,
announcing, hey
they've
guys,
always had a strong. No, they've always had a strong merch presence. I mean, hell, the best thing I ever got from Bethesda was an Enclave hat and jacket that they no longer sell here, and I wish
oh,
they would fucking make them again here, because the brim of the hat is starting to fall apart.
yeah, I'll admit, I'd
I've
buy
worn
an
the fuck
Enclave
out of
hat.
this hat. No, it's a really good. It's not like the actual ball cap from the game here. It's just like a really nice ball cap, but it's black, and it's got really nice stitching of the logo,
Nice.
and it's really fucking comfy too. I love this fucking hat, but they don't sell it anymore. Instead, there's a shitty NCR trucker cap that's like all beat up and worn here, and I don't want to buy any kind of clothing that looks like it's been worn for like 20
But
generations.
it's the aesthetic.
Fuck that shit. You can go take your aesthetic and shove it up your ass.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the point, with New Vegas 2, not only did no one believe that that was going to thing, but you actually got people's hopes up and reminded them that there are people out there that can make Fallout games a lot better than you. It's just kind of
I hate to go. Hold on, I hate to go back to this since you reminded me of merch here. But you remember when the Valve store sold the Grenadier soft cap?
Grenadier's soft cap.
Yeah, it's that one hat for the soldier. It's just a military soft cap. I can probably bring up a picture of it.
Oh, I think so. I didn't
They
realize they
sold
sold that.
a black version of it with the soldier's logo on it, and I snagged it up years ago when I was in college. Now I still have it
Hmm.
someplace, because like it shows up and it just disappears here. My wife actually used to wear it all the fucking
It's
time
the
when she was like, "Oh my
ghost
god,"
of the soft cap.
when she figured out this thing was actually comfy and look cute on her. But
Why didn't you wear me more, Will? Why didn't you buy an unusual version of me for your soldier loadout?
dude, I wore the fuck out of that hat. But when she liked it, I'm like, all right, fine, you can have it. I'll just go get another one.
And they
But
don't
by the
sell it
time
anymore.
they don't.
Yeah.
So then I was like, fuck it, give me my hat back, bitch.
Yeah. Speaking of Valve merchandise, as long as we're tangenting, I did notice a resurgence in the action figures. I've seen people all over posting pictures of them getting new in the box versions of the TF2 action figures. And I'm wondering, did they put these back up on the store, or did someone just uncover a crate load of them and just scatter them around?
They did some of them. I really don't know which newer ones there are. I've actually never bought an action figure from the Valve store. I have two, the Pyro and the Engineer, and I bought both of those on
Disgusting.
sale from a comic book shop.
Yeah,
Well, all right,
I saw an engineer
I still like the
one.
Pyro.
I saw an engineer one in a GameStop in Georgia, and it was like the only one, and I was considering buying it, but excuse me.
I mean, if you really like the class, I say it, but
Well, it's not really just
they're
the
okay.
class. It's not really just the class. It's just the game. I mean, I have all three of the TF2 pop vinyls back there in my little pop vinyl collection.
I have not gotten the medic yet. I still have not found that one.
Let me tell you, the two, just to finish the tangent and then finally get back on topic, the two hardest pop vinyls I've ever had to try and find were the Tom Servo and Crow T Robot ones from Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I
Those
found them
things were
everywhere.
a bitch.
Dude, I found them everywhere where I went. The ones I want to get now, though, are the Warhammer ones they released.
They're Warhammer? Wait, Warhammer or 40K?
40K.
Nice. What they got?
If they haven't come out yet, there's going to be a Space Wolf, a Primaris, Ultramarine, a Dark Angel, and a Blood Angel.
Nice. I think it'd be pretty dope to get like a deathcore uh pop vinyl. That'd be pretty fucking
Well,
cool.
what they're doing is they're testing the waters with like the big four chapters.
Yeah.
See how well the pop vinyl stick, and then if they do, then they're going to release some more chapters, maybe some other facts too.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Games Workshop has been diversifying with who they license Warhammer out to recently, and I think that's a great on them. It helps get people into it. Actually, I have a story to bring up later, but for now, getting back to April Fools,
Actually, I
I,
did have one. I forgot this April Fool's. I can't believe I did. It's a
what was
40K one.
it?
They
What
were
was it?
they said they're releasing their own AI.
AI,
Yep,
like that. What was it?
Cortana or something. But it's supposed
Oh.
to be heresy.
That's great.
At least, at least I hope it is.
I no, if it was announced today, don't put much stock in it. I don't think that's a real thing. Though that'd be cool if it was. Anyway, getting back to April Fools and the topic of pranks, there's a pretty big difference between a dumb shit joke and a prank. And again, the essence of it is getting someone to believe something. The harder it is to believe, the better the prank. Like if you can get someone genuinely to believe something outlandish and stupid, that's a really good prank. And then when you pull the switcheroo, they'll be like, "Ah, I can't believe you got me to believe that." Man, it reminds me of a very, very old Cyanide and Happiness comic. I'm going off my memory here, so correct me if I'm wrong on this. But essentially, like the one guy walked in with nothing in his hand. He was like, "Hey guys, look at this turtle." Or not guys. "Hey dude, look at this turtle I found behind our barn." It's like, okay, one, your hands are empty, and two, we don't have a barn. And the first guy goes, "Ha! Fucking pranked you, dumbass!" Ha ha ha! And that reminds me a lot of the pranks I saw today. It's just like, no, that's not real. I know it's not real. That's not a prank. Like
That only reminds me of Bethesda right there.
yeah. They're like, "Hey guys, look, New Vegas 2, it's coming soon." It's like, okay, one, we know it's not actually being a thing. You are the stingiest asshole with fucking Fallout, and we all know you're jealous of Obsidian for making the best Fallout game. And two, if it was released, you know that it would just shine a fucking torch on all your shit, make it look even worse in comparison. And then Bethesda goes, "We we got you, didn't we?" It's like again, it's just sad. But
Actually, how much they've been fucking up here. Actually, I would believe they would try to release New Vegas here to make people forget that they have done wrong.
no, they wouldn't. Here's the thing: if they made a New Vegas 2, they would make it themselves, and they would completely miss the point of what made the first one great. Or they would just release a remastered version, which would inevitably break everything, like Dark Souls Remaster did. But that's yet
Again,
another topic.
I
I'd
said they
like,
would try to. I didn't say
yeah,
they'd be successful.
no, obviously it wouldn't be successful. I'd like to
We all
try and
know how
keep
to
the
do.
topics like get a topic done before we move on. So this is we're
We're
struggling right
still in that
now.
realm. We're still in that realm. We're still in that realm.
Yeah, but like we're reaching really far out, then I have to like reel back in. So
Are we
we're
though?
struggling, but we're making it. We're about at the 30-minute mark, so let me get caught up with chat here, and we'll consider this the end of the April Fool's discussion. I just want to say, if you're gonna prank someone, the essence of a prank comes from getting them to believe that it's real. If you just say, "Hey, look, my foot fell off," and then they look down and they're like, "Dude, your foot's still on," that's not like, and you can't just go, "Ha, I pranked you, dummy." Well, I mean, maybe if you actually got them to look down, but if they just stare you in the eye
Yeah.
and say, "Dude, your foot didn't fall off, you're just fine," that's not a prank. You didn't prank them. You just look like an idiot. Anything to add on that?
No, you're right about that. I mean, I was gonna correct you there, but then you cut yourself with the. Oh wait, if they do look down, then yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of is a prank.
I mean,
It's still a bad prank, but it's still a prank.
like, take into consideration, like, all the stuff that got revealed today, New Vegas 2, Payday Royale, all that, those are not pranks. If you go up to someone and say, oh, dude, you dropped your pocket, and they look down, that's a prank. Granted, it's a shitty prank, because it's basically just instinct to look at something some dude's pointing at, but it's still a better prank than this sadness.
They are pranks, but and this goes back to my time in high school. These are just old fucking jokes that they just need to stop doing here. I mean, it
Yeah.
was funny the first time I ever heard about it when they did Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball when they released the naked cheat code and
Oh,
everybody and their
yeah.
fucking grandmother tried to fucking get that one to work. And when it did, they wrote so many angry letters into Electronic
That
Gaming Monthly.
that's a good
That was
prank.
done right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they were
And
like,
then
he did it! He did it! I can finally look at nude anime girls on my Xbox! And they just went nuts. That's a good
also by
prank.
the time they were releasing, this was after the colossal failure of the prequel, and they well not colossal, but still. But anyway,
The
they
Star
started
Wars
people start
prequels?
yeah,
Okay.
and but then they started releasing fake trailers for the next Star Wars movie because people still thought, well, all right, they did the prequels, and I guess he really is going to keep making movies.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, pranked you, and then everybody's like, oh fuck, can't believe you've done this.
Nice meme reference. And with
I
that,
know,
we
absolutely.
finished the April Fool's discussion. I hope you all learned something. Catching up with chat. Let me scroll up. So apparently Marker. Okay, I don't know if this is true. Punkcake mentioned this offhandedly. Markiplier saying that he's not retiring. That's the only message in here referencing that. He says also Markiplier saying that he's not retiring. I don't know if that implies that Markiplier is retiring, and as an April Fool's joke he said he isn't, or if as an April Fool's joke he said he is retiring. I'm gonna go with the latter, despite my
I'm gonna
best
go with I
wishes.
couldn't care about Markiplier.
Yeah. Gage asks if we want to do some potato.tf shit. Apparently, they're hosting some Mimi April Fools MVM custom MVM missions. We could do that Thursday if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right, we could do that, Gage. uh,
April Fools.
Gage says also in D&D. Carlin said that your character has now become the Doge of Bilge. Nice.
What?
I don't know. Gage pranked two workers at his job by telling them they're on their last week from word down the grapevine, like essentially passing rumors that
That's fucked up.
yeah, that's a bit like these guys are probably freaking out. They're like, "What? We're getting fired? What the fuck?" And like that's kind of cruel, but
the, the
it's still a
previous week,
prank.
Gage heard they were in debt, like a couple $1,000s here, and he's like, you know what? April Fools is coming up. Time to prank.
No, it'd be fucking hilarious. Just like as an April Fool's joke, he spread a rumor around the office that someone there is in debt to the mob, and like they're gonna make a visit and shoot up the place. And then like that gets spread around, and then out of nowhere one day, someone who works at the office just fucking sprints out and starts running. You're like, oh fuck, wait, was that real? Also, they've actually been working on arena mode for the last 527 days, and one day on RD Asteroid. Arena mode. And okay, so Punkei confirmed that the prank is that he is completely confusing, and he's not retiring. So he is retiring. Is that what you're saying, Punkei? If so, hey, good on him. He's had a good run. Though honestly, he never really had. Okay, this is gonna sound biased and shit, and that's because it really is. But Markiplier never really had his own unique spin on the fake scream at scary games bullshit that PewDiePie used to do. He was just had like a very sexy voice, and that was it. And
Really, I thought he was just a downgrade of Steven Crowder, at least in look.
essentially, I mean, I know he has like this crazy devoted fan base that like ships him with that
They all do.
Jacksepticeye guy.
They all do. It's just all in that realm
Yeah.
of cringe.
I just want to say, if you want to make ships and fan fiction about fictional stuff, that's
Don't go
fine.
don't go down that road.
That's fine. I mean, if that's just, something you want to do to pass the time, hey, go nuts. But don't ship real life people. That is really creepy.
I'm gonna stop you there, Bucket, because cancer in any form should never be allowed.
Well,
You need to cut it out before it gets malignant.
this isn't really cancer, it's more like the common cold. You'd be wasting your time trying to make a cure for it because it'll just come back stronger. It's always adapting. It's easier to just let it run its course. Like, just let these fanfickers make their shit in the corner by themselves and don't pay them any attention. They'll eventually stop.
Dude,
They
those
won't
people could
stop, but they'll
die
keep
and
to
they won't
themselves.
stop. Oh yeah, they'll keep them.
Anyway, getting back on topic. So, if he is retiring, go nuts. He's definitely made enough money off of his shit. I hope he invests it. Instead
I
of
think
just.
he was a banker before he did.
Was he?
Yeah. All right. So confession time. I did watch him when he like first started out. That was before he got big here because I'm like, all right, this is a good time waster video here. But after a while, I
Was
kind
he
of was like,
still
yeah.
was he still doing the fake screaming at scary game shtick?
No, oddly enough, and you're gonna laugh at this. One of the things I saw him for was Minecraft when it like first came out.
Wow,
'Cause
that's
I was,
wait, he's been around that long?
or maybe not when it first came out, but when Minecraft was in its early stages. Like this was before it had like a fraction of what it has now here. But I remember one of the things he said was that this is when he used to do this part time, and like his full time thing was like being a banker or some shit like. He did something with money. I want to say it was a banker. I definitely don't think he was a Hollywood stock investor. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing YouTube as a career.
Honestly, I think he could get into acting. He's got the face, he's got the voice, he has a good range of emotions. He should try it.
I wouldn't say acting. I would give him voice acting maybe.
Oh yeah, voice act. Like that's still acting. All right, don't talk down to
I'm
voice
not.
actors.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking like that. I'm saying like he'd be a better voice actor than he just seems too generic to be an actor.
Well, I don't know. He has the energy. He has like a Jim Carrey style energy. He's really into what he does. I don't know. I don't think this will reach him, but if it does, hey Markiplier, you should if you're retiring from YouTube, try out acting. I think you could make the cut.
If he was a
Anyway,
banker, then he would never do it. Because
yeah,
that is a
if he's going back to being a banker, fucking go nuts, man. The money's there. All right, getting back
money,
to
like I said.
topics. What was I going to talk about? All right, Warhammer and Games Workshop. This is a brief one. I just want to mention this. My brother up there in Georgia recently found a like an official Games Workshop store, and he decided to go and check it out. Maybe he figured he'd just pop in, maybe get like a Warhammer T-shirt or something. Something
How
cute.
much did he buy?
No,
How
no,
much
no,
did
no,
he buy?
no, no, no. Here's the thing. He went there, and it was, it's the full fucking deal. There were two employees in the back playing a fucking game of Warhammer 40K with all the figurines set up. And he said one was even going so far as to like he'd take out a ruler and measure all of his movements and shit, and he was very meticulous about it. And so
Kind of
he's
have to be.
he's just looking around, looking at stuff, all the figurines and the like. And a girl that worked there, surprisingly enough, came and was like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm new to the Warhammer stuff, just looking around, kind of interested." And he looked at some of the figurines for Warhammer and for 40K, and he couldn't remember the name of the salamanders. And so he was asked, "Do you have any of the what
The
is it?
amphibians.
The chapter that Vulcan's in charge of." That's what he said, and the girl that worked there didn't know. She was like, one sec," and she went to the guy who was playing.
Seriously?
Yeah, she went to the guy who was playing Warhammer in the back, and I'm going to assume he looks like that dude from The Simpsons. Big sort of chicken ponytail, scraggly
Comic
beard.
book guy.
Yeah, the comic book guy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Do you know what chapter Vulcan's in charge of?" And he's like, and my brother made point of mentioning that. He was like, "You mean the salamanders?" Like he actually scoffed. And It's just the arrogance of like, wow, what a noob.
Well, a side note to that, actually, he might have done that because he might have felt like she shouldn't be working there. Because I learned this the last time I was in a game workshop store back in Huntsville. Apparently, most of those guys are actually in their part time. There's no there's barely any full time games workshop employees.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you got to figure here how many people are actually going in and buying models.
Well, Games Workshop has a niche market where they don't make a lot of sales. They just, it's the difference between selling 1,000,000 things for $1 or selling 1,000 things for $10,000. Games
I'm
Workshop
not
is
saying they
closer
did.
to the latter because I've seen the prices on some of their shit, and oh god.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying like that. They don't make any money.
No, they're doing just fine. I'm not worrying about Games Workshop dying out.
A car salesman would actually sells more than say a Games Workshop employee at a store here. So that's why most of them work part time, and
Yeah,
most of the time that they're in there, they're just doing that to have a to make money on the side while they're
yeah,
doing
and
their
it's
hobby.
and it's their hobby. Yeah. But so I don't know. Maybe she was just there. Like maybe that was just her job, or maybe she just didn't know the name of the salamanders. Like he was escaping her at the time. I'm not gonna
Actually, I
make
think
assumptions because it's really not an important detail. What is important
yeah,
is she showed him around and showed him all the figurines and even just to get him into it, gave him a free Warhammer figurine, not Warhammer Fantasy, a little Son of Sigmar dude to paint, and he tried it out, painted it up. He said it was pretty cool, and they let him
that
keep
is
it for
Warhammer
free.
Fantasy.
Hmm.
That is Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm saying I
You said it. What you said it was.
no, I said not 40K Warhammer
Oh, my
Fantasy.
bad.
Yeah, I feel the need to distinguish between Warhammer and 40K because if you just say Warhammer, people's mind go to 40K.
Just say fantasy and 40K. It's
All
way
right.
easier.
All right. So they gave him a little fantasy figurine. He painted it. He still has it. Gave it to him for free. And they're like,
Yeah,
so you looking to buy anything? And he wanted to get some, get some figurines and really have a go at it. But he wasn't counting on the fact that they all come bare ass naked and you have to paint them yourself. He figured
yeah.
he could just buy like chapters.
Nope.
Yeah, and I told him
Well,
what you don't realize is
you
that
can.
maybe online, but in the stores they sell them and you have to paint them yourself. And I told him what you
Well,
have to
actually,
realize is a big part of this hobby is painting them. A lot of people take the time out to paint theirs because they have custom chapters and the like.
well, there is. All right, so I definitely suggest you pass this along to him. There's a couple different things that he can do here. The first thing I suggest, if he actually is getting in this hobby, and anybody else who listens, if you go to a store here, why don't you just go get a rule book or something and get a few of the chapter books? I highly suggest some of the Horus Heresy now. At least dip your toe into it,
Yeah.
and that way it's the most inexpensive way to do it to get an idea of, hey, do I actually like this
Well,
or do I not?
yeah. Well,
Because
here's the thing.
obviously,
He's not looking to start playing the tabletop game. He just wanted to, get into Warhammer stuff. Maybe have a few little figurines, collect some of the books, because he's interested in the lore, but he's definitely not a tabletop gamer dude.
but
So
this was the other part I was going to get into here is even if you're not playing the tabletop game, you should look at Warhammer the same as like a hobby enthusiast looks at building tank models or something.
yeah, or
You
like
know,
a retiree with their train set.
or a ship in a bottle. I mean,
Yeah,
either way, it's something that you're going to invest time in for a product that you like at the end. And I
yeah.
guarantee you, and this is something he figured, your painting's going to suck at the start unless you take a free class they got there. And this is actually what he can do if he wants to go back there. He can actually ask for tips on how to,
Your
and they'll give him
your mic's kind of cutting out. I just wanted to mention.
sorry, it might be the internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like it drops every other word sometimes.
Anyway, most of those employees will give you a very, very, very in-depth crash course on how to paint, including how to apply a base coat, shading, um, painting on effects, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He doesn't want to go through the task of painting
He
them. He
does. He
doesn't
doesn't want to
care.
build a model.
No.
Gotcha.
He just wants. He essentially wanted like a little like maybe a little ultramarine figure that he could just put on his desk and have it there, and it's cute. He didn't want to go
Well,
through the task of painting it himself. He just wanted
well,
something
here's
he could get.
well, here's the last option. Not necessarily a Warhammer store, but like a lot of hobby stores, like the one that's like 10 minutes away from where I live. They actually have a couple of bookshelves filled with models that people are selling that they've already painted,
Huh.
or they range from like really well detailed ones that are like 40-50 bucks to very basic ones that either you can buy as supplements for your army parts, or hell, if you just want an easy project to
Hmm.
paint it up a little bit or just not at all,
Yeah.
they're right there. It's like a used car lot of Warhammer models.
Yeah. And I also suggested to him that I'm sure there are plenty of places online you can find people who pre-paint
Oh yeah,
this.
definitely.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing though. He was looking around at all the different like starter things. Like there was one starter pack, I essentially. It came with like a rule book and two different armies, one Space Marines, one Orcs, I think it was,
That's
and
the
all
new
that.
one.
And it was like
Wait, is it?
120 fucking bucks.
No, wait. I think that's Black Reach. That's actually a rare one.
It well, should have told him that.
All right, nerding out here again. Here, if it's the Orc one that has the classic Space Marines, that's Black Reach, and that one's actually pretty rare to find. The two new ones are the one that came out last year for Primaris versus Death Guard, and then they did a big Chaos update. I think it's Chaos versus Space again. Chaos
Yeah,
versus
you're
Space Marines.
really nerding out here.
The starter packs aren't bad. We got me and my wife got the Primaris and Death Guard here. She's gonna build her own Death Guard army.
Good for her. I didn't realize she was into the Warhammer stuff.
Well, she wants to get into like model building, specifically miniatures, and she's seen me build some stuff here. She
Hmm,
thinks it's interesting.
cute. Anyway, so he was looking all over all of it, and basically he didn't realize two things. One, you can't just go in the store and ask for a figurine. You'd have to paint it your fucking self. Something he
Oh,
really
paint a
wasn't
figurine.
willing to do.
No, you can't.
And second, everything there is really fucking expensive.
Yes, it is.
Like, for instance, he mentioned how cool it would be to have a Magnus the Red figure. And I'm going to look up
Oh,
right quick.
fuck no.
Hold on. I'm going to look up right quick how much a Magnus the Red model is worth for those of you at home that aren't into this. So let's
It's
see.
it's a heavy model, dude. You could like beat your brother with it.
Here we are. Warhammer 40k painted action figure Manus the Red, Thousand Suns, 28mm. It's pretty
And it's the
big.
red. I was unaware of that Mystery Science movie.
Yeah. And it's on eBay for $400.
Fuck.
Let me show you a picture of this though. You might get a better
This,
appreciation for it.
this thing better be so well done.
Let me show you cuz I think it looks pretty fucking well done.
All right.
It's by a guy, I think I didn't check his name too much. I think it was Russian handmade. So this is what it looks like. Let me enhance the image for you here.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute.
What?
He didn't paint that.
Well, I don't know if he painted it himself, but he was selling this model on eBay for $400.
Dude, that's the stock that you can actually get that at Games Workshop. Dude.
Really?
Yeah. Hold up.
How much is it from Games Workshop?
I better not be $400. Like, if he's reselling, unless it's sold out right now, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, here we are. Photos are taken from the figure manufacturer's website. We paint the authentic miniatures only. We guarantee the figure will be absolutely. Hold on. There's info here. I completely fucking lost it in an instant. Oh, see
The actual
details.
figure itself is $130.
So you could get this same figure for 130 at an actual store.
But you get it professionally painted.
Yeah. Well, I mean that looks professionally painted.
That's not no, the one that you showed there, that's actually the stock photo from Games Workshop.
So
They haven't even
that is the professionally painted one.
no, unless they do a better job than this here, I would not pay $400 for that.
Well, I don't
pay,
know. But yeah,
I pay an extra.
So
I
you
pay an
said it
extra
was
$50.
So you said it was what, 250?
130.
130 for that. That's not as bad as I thought, but that's still pretty fucking pricey for just a model to have there. I mean, my brother has a black knight figurine from Dark Souls that he got for like $30. It's about a foot tall, and
It's
that's about the same size.
different material. I'm sure the Black Knight is like way more easy to mass produce than this. I mean, they're both mass
I'm
produced,
sure.
obviously.
I'm sure they have their reasons. But yeah, so to sum up this topic, my brother like left in a panic because he drove a really long way out there and he didn't want to leave empty-handed, but he was so overwhelmed because he couldn't decide what to get. And he didn't want to paint any figurines. He just kind of wanted something, so he just like had a panic attack and left feeling guilty. And I kind of feel bad for him, but it's an amusing story to tell.
Your
So.
brother, they kind of just doesn't like arts and craft project.
No, he's never been big on arts and crafts, and yeah, again, he's
Okay,
not really
I
interested in
get it.
dumping hours upon hours into building his own little army. He doesn't want to play the tabletop game. He was just looking for a little figurine to put on his desk, like a pop vinyl, but like an authentic thing. He didn't realize he'd have to go through all that.
Then I tell him just to stick to the books.
Or he could again look online. They have pre-painted ones.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I did.
wait, don't tell me that is my lore knowledge is limited. That's either Horus or Perturabo.
It's Abaddon.
Ah, so close.
Horse is dead, bro, and they not released unless you count Forge World. They have never released a Perturabo model.
Really?
It's kind of depressing. Yeah, Perturabo just gets fucked over. I feel if I identify with Iron Warriors, they just get fucked over.
Well, I mean, like, what are you gonna do with a fucking Iron Warriors army? Dig holes?
Either that or be petulant manchilds.
I
I'm
wanted to
trying to
build
find
the
this stuff.
golden lantern.
I want to find this though because there is some
Fuck
Warhammer
lore.
merch, but one of them was just so crazy expensive. This guy made a 3D model of Rabute Gilliman
Is that how you
fighting.
pronounce his first name?
It's Rabute.
Rabute. I always said Rabuta.
I used to just say Robert. Anyway, this guy made a really excellent 3D printer model of Rabute Gilliman fighting Chaos Space Marines on some stairs. But all right, guess how much the price is?
I'm gonna guess upwards of $600.
Higher,
Ooh, upwards of 1,200.
a bit lower,
So about $900.
almost there, just a little bit high.
Uh, 1050.
It was like it's like right around $1,000,
Yeah.
under $1,100.
Jesus Christ. I mean, if it's professionally made and he puts a
Oh,
lot
it
of
is.
time into it, then I. Here's the thing. You want to know how you measure something's value? Something's value is measured by how much someone is willing to pay for it. If you have a stick that someone offers you $1,000 for, that stick is now worth $1,000. People can say, "Oh, it's just a stick. Why would you pay $1,000 for it?" Someone was willing to pay that for it, therefore that's what it's worth. So if someone is willing to pay $1,000 for this, big ass figurine of Rabuta Gilliman fighting a bunch of Space Marines, that's what it's worth.
Well, see, I thought the only reason why it was that much is because he makes these himself.
Mm.
It's not like it's mass-produced
Yeah.
models here.
Yeah.
But they're being sponsored.
Oh.
Yeah, again, it's really fucking awesome. If it wasn't $1,000 here, I would actually totally get it. I thought it was going to be as much as the power armor that they offered on Bethesda,
Oh yeah.
which I thought that was expensive. No sir, Rabute takes the cake.
Yeah, again, Warhammer. Don't worry about Games Workshop. They may not sell a lot, but they definitely make their money. I mean, it's a nichey thing, but it's a well-cornered niche. I can't think of a more popular tabletop game besides D&D.
It's one of those things like you didn't think you'd ever be into, but once you like start getting into the lore, you're like, okay, yeah, fuck with this.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't really care about the tabletop game at all. I
No.
admit the figurines are really cool, and like my brother, I'd love to have one just on my desk, but I'm not willing to shell out like 500 plus bucks for it. What
Completely
gets me
understand.
about Warhammer is the lore. It's just a really cool setting. Like you said, the story is really cool, and I like it. And fuck you for getting me hooked on it.
A couple things I learned today that I thought was absolutely fucking hilarious about it. The Tau now have a dark god.
Uh, okay.
There is a warp god of communism, essentially communism intolerance.
The god of communism.
Intolerance.
It is Karl Marx, Comrade Marx, back from grave.
So essentially, the story goes that a Tau expansion fleet got stuck in the warp, and then demons just showed up and started murdering everybody on that fleet, like the Kroot and the Vespids, except for the
Aw,
Tau, because the Tau don't have a soul.
yeah.
But then the demons started noticing them, and they were gonna kill the fucking Tau here, because like, oh, there you guys
As
are.
long as they're here, why not?
And then all of a sudden, this sixth arm fucking deity of communism, tolerance, and SJW-ness
God
shows up
Emperor
and just
Marx.
eviscerates the demons and saves them, and they're like, "Oh my god, we got a god now!" So now
Finally.
there's some sects of Tau now that go out there and purge in the name of love and tolerance.
So the commies have sided with the fucking bronies?
Yeah, communist bronies.
That's the dumbest fuck. Oh my god, and I thought the Tau couldn't get any worse. Fucking
Dumber
fish commies.
thing that
Oh my
this is
god.
something that Games Workshop somebody in Games Workshop wanted to do with the Emperor, but they stopped them because like, no, it's too much. Don't do it, kid. You have so much to
No,
live for.
no, the Emperor does not represent tolerance and equality. He represents
No, no,
get
no,
in
no.
line or I'll beat your ass.
At some point, it was supposed to really be revealed that the Emperor was actually
A what?
an AI. He was supposed to be
What?
the remnant, one of the last few smart AIs in existence that is continuing on his program of defending humanity.
Oh, that is the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
That's why they told him not to do it.
Yeah, good idea. I was
Now,
worried we'd
somebody
have
made
a Blizzard moment there where one dumbass gets a shitty idea and no one tells him to stop, and then it's bam, it's canon.
somebody made a joke saying, "Well, now the fucking Mechanicus would accept him fully because
Yeah,
now he really would be
he
the
is
Messiah."
he is the Omnissiah, yeah. Oh
But
god,
no, that
okay.
one got retconned for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it wasn't even retconned. It was never established. They just shut him down before he could get started with it, and that's a good thing. Anyway, finishing up with the Warhammer topic. One, it's a really expensive hobby, but if
Oh yeah.
you're getting into it, like people that get into it know what they're getting into, so more power to you. Two, if you're interested in getting into Warhammer, I recommend picking up the books first, cause very interesting reads. And three, Lionel Johnson is the coolest name I've ever heard for a character. If I ever have to write a fantasy character, I'll name him Lionel Johnson.
Now, I'm going to stop you there, Buck, because you do realize that Lionel Johnson's chapter resides on a fortress that is basically named after an airport gay bar.
What's it called?
The Rock.
Oh, that's who those motherfuckers are.
Yep.
Okay, I've been so fucking confused about who those idiots were the last couple episodes.
Oh,
For
the
those of
Dark
you
Angels?
for those of you out of the loop, we're talking about if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device now.
Yeah, all right. They're green now. They actually used to be black and red.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that subplot. I'm sure you do.
I actually don't. I have some idea
Oh
because I've
fuck.
seen some of the art. Well, I've seen some of the art that the one of the head artists keeps releasing. Like he's released his own interpretation of the Void Dragon, a couple of the other gods, some other characters. But I really don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah,
I
I've been able to
imagine
follow most of the story up until those guys. Then I just hit a brick wall.
what it feels like is they're digging up some of the most just obscure and forgotten 40K lore that even Games Workshop has forgotten about, and they're implementing it now
Hey,
because
more
they're
power to
clearly not
them.
following the current plot. No, it's honestly a lot more interesting than
Dude,
Games Workshop
TTS
is
is
currently.
has like for the past 4 years been very obviously stated as its own fan fiction. It's not following, it's not adhering to canon. Anyway, we're at the
Not
hour
yet.
mark,
Not
so
yet.
let's get off this topic. I didn't think it'd go so fucking long. It's time to catch up with Chad again. Would the internet riot if Borderlands 3 goes to the Epic Store? Yes. Or at least I know I would, because I'm getting fucking sick of all the games I want to play coming on the Epic
It's
Store.
Strike 3, of course.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like all these, like the Outer Worlds and Phoenix Point. I look at these games. They're only on the Epic Store, at least in Outer Worlds' case, only for a year. And I think to myself, I'm not gonna buy these games. I'm not gonna say, oh, I guess I have to go buy them. No, I'm a consumer. It's my choice what to consume. And if you don't fucking make a decently available product, I'm not gonna go crawling through barbed wire to get some fucking dog treats. My dog will survive without them. The point is, the Outer Worlds, I want to play it. I really, really want to fucking play it. But if they choose to only release on the Epic Store, I won't.
Okay.
I won't buy it. There, you've lost at least one sale. And I know for a fact you've lost thousands more because there are thousands of people out there, possibly hundreds of thousands, that fucking hate Epic and don't want to use their service.
Oh,
So,
the fun. I thought it was only going to be on the Epic Store for a year.
yeah, it is. But by the time it gets on Steam, people will have forgotten about it, I can assure you.
Oh, yeah.
So even like they thought they could make a compromise there, like, oh, Windows and Epic only for a year, then we'll go on Steam. And I can tell you, by 2020, this time next year, people will be like, hey, we're on Steam now, come by, and people are like, oh, what? Oh, that game.
At the same time,
No, I already saw Al Chessbreach's playthrough. I don't care. And they'll just pass.
I would buy it on fucking Windows before I would buy it on the Epic Store.
Yeah, but no, I'm just not gonna buy it until it's on Steam and it's the summer sale and it's 80% off. I'm just gonna make sure they get as little of my money as possible. Also, it sounds like you were just swallowed by an SCP. What the fuck happened?
Boy, I have no idea how to process that one. With that cringy ass SCP joke.
Oh, you're too good for SCP now, huh, Mr. Warhammer Bar?
Listen, somebody today released a. Yeah, they were joking about it, but they came up with their own SCP based on those Garfield phones that people.
I'm not surprised. That sounds like an SCP.
And then everybody shed on him for it, calling him a perpetual 12-year-old child.
Well, why not just upload it to the joke section? Duh. I mean, one of my favorite SCPs I thought was a joke one, but it's actually legit. It's the Adventures of Ronnie Raygun.
Reagan, I have not heard that one.
Look it up. It's quite ticklish. And it's not a joke. I thought it was, but it's not. It's some fucking comic series from the 30s about Ronald Reagan in like space called Ronnie Raygun.
Oh wow! I was actually right about this. When you said Ronnie Reagan, I immediately
Yeah.
just thought Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, it's Ronald Reagan, and it's like it tells the stuff that happened during his presidency, but in space and all that. It's fucking hilarious. I thought it was a joke, but no, it's legit, and I find that even funnier.
The only thing that's stopping me from actually enjoying that fully is because I just view the fans as like one step away from being as cringy as Homestuck.
Oh yeah, no, the fandom is shitty as hell, but I just only really care about the original SCPs, the one written by people who can write.
Yeah.
And I stay the fuck away from the fan fiction, like, you know, how the hard to kill lizard versus the chaos gods, who would win? Gee, what a fucking question. Who
That
would win?
unfortunately
A
exists.
hard to kill lizard or a god?
A
Hmm.
god that also you cannot physically kill.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, technically neither, because depending on who the god is, I think that lizard would actually be fucked for all eternity.
Oh yeah, Slanesh is into that
Pick
kinky shit.
either by dildos, perpetual AIDS, just blood, or whatever the fuck Zinch decides to
Or just shove a chain halberd up its ass. Anyway, getting off
do. Too.
Warhammer, like I said we would.
Oh, you
That's
brought up a really cringy death battle, and I know which one you're talking about because I've seen that.
wait, death. Wait, they didn't
Not
actually
that
make a.
death battle.
They didn't actually make a death
All
battle
right,
video about it, did they?
maybe not. Maybe no, it's not a death battle.
Whew.
Maybe I'm.
Okay,
But
good.
it is on one of those forums where people are like, dude, what would happen
I
if
feared for the
Garfield
sake of
had
my sanity
feelings?
if the guys at Screw Attack did that.
Somebody wanted to do Ezek Ironman against some magical girl, and everybody's like, dude, are you serious? They
Uh,
they tried to legitly defend why the magic girl would win. Like, you do realize what he is, right?
oh god. Just
These
fuck
people.
fuck Japan. Let's all take a moment to celebrate what truly brings us together. Xenophobia. Anyway, off that topic, what was the other thing I wanted to talk? Oh, right! Dark Souls Remaster. I know this is old news, but I think it's pretty safe to say that it has officially died as of late. I think it has less than 500 viewers at any given moment now.
I didn't realize that people were talking about it.
No, no one has been talking about it for a while, but I've been keeping track of just how it's been dying, and good God, it was painful. And this was brought up again to me recently when my brother asked if you could still purchase the original Skyrim and instead of special edition on Steam. And I said, "Yeah, it's still on the store, it's just buried." So like right now, I could go into my Steam library, go to the original release of Skyrim, which I own, and click on the store page option, and I can hand out that link so people can purchase the original instead of the special edition. Since a lot of
Oh boy, you're
mods,
making Todd happy today.
since a lot of mods that people made don't work with the special edition. I mean, yeah, if you search Skyrim, that's gonna only really bring up the special edition, but it's still there. You have to go through some back doors, but it's still there. Dark Souls, no, it's off Steam. You can only get the remaster. That's bullshit. Because you know what that means? I can't play Dark Souls anymore.
All right, why?
Because the remaster is absolute fucking filth. You thought the
And
original was buggy. The remaster was so bad, so mind-numbingly broken. I can't even put to words how many problems there were. I highly recommend you go look at the videos by this guy named Inferno Plus. He's made probably more than 5 videos about how shithouse it is. But it's so fucking bad. And it was such a cheap grab ass. It just reminds me of that line from Patches in Dark Souls 3. It seems every age is tainted by the greed of men. And that's what we're looking at. Just some greedy fucking dev wanted to throw the whatever company it was that remastered it a bone and said, "Here, remaster this." And they fucked it up.
I think there was I forgot what YouTuber that talked about this, but these remasters. This is when they were like at its hype here.
Yeah.
There's honestly nothing wrong with them. I mean, I honestly don't mind a remaster every now and again, just when it's done right. And clearly, Dark Souls is the example of how not to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's nothing inherently wrong with the idea of remastering a game, but you have to ask yourself a few questions. One, is this worth the effort? Is this worth a remaster? I mean, literally speaking, you can't remaster something unless the first was mastered. And a lot of these games that they're remastering these days were never fucking masterful in their own right.
you've seen this guy's video.
Who was it?
Extra credit.
No, I don't think I have seen it. No, I haven't, but I didn't realize I just accidentally quoted them. Sorry.
Well, he made a similar. Well, it wasn't verbatim. He made a similar argument
Yeah.
to that. The one thing he did state was like, for example, how people want which Final Fantasy is it? The Final Fantasy 8.
I think 7 is the most popular one.
Well, 7, which whatever. All right, whichever one it is. People want an
The
older
one with
version.
Cloud where you
Yeah,
cross-dress, yeah.
people want the older version of Final Fantasy remastered here, and he put up the argument that as nice as that would be, that is a damn hard game to remaster, and it's a damn expensive game too,
Yeah,
and it's
because it's
not always
big.
worth the reward.
Yeah, you have to consider, is it worth the effort? And a lot of times it's not. I mean, well, like, okay, David Cage. I just want to make the brief note that David Cage is the not only the worst video game maker I've ever seen in my life, he is
Is
also
he?
the worst writer I've ever seen in my entire life. And this man should be banned from the written word for the rest of his fucking life. He should have his hands cut off and his eyes gouged out so he could never taint the world and our society with his horrid fucking works ever again. And to answer
Who's
your
David Cage?
question, he made
Okay.
Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, and Detroit Become Human. Oh, and
Uh,
Splintered Soul Suspect, I think it is called, or
I only
something
know
like that.
two of those games, but only by name only.
Yeah, Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain and the one with Ellen Page in it, I can't remember for the life of me, are just so mind-numbingly bad and horribly written. It's honestly insulting how childish it is.
Like two of those have like a big political narrative in it too. That's why it did so horrible because they.
Well, no, they did well because people have been so starved for decent writing in the past couple years that they mistake his claims to artistry as actual artistry. The only thing David Cage has that's legitimate is his very patronizing view of the homeless. In all of his games, one's moral compass is like opposite of their bank account. The more money you have, the more mind-numbingly and inexcusably evil you are. And while the homeless are all like very charitable and saint-like people that are far more advanced and knowing than us mere mortal money havers. And
Oh, he's a
it's
classist.
yeah, very patronizingly so. It's just yeah, maybe Muffin has a point. I think he's an android, and Detroit Become Human was him trying to sympathize with his brethren. But he is not human. He doesn't think or act like a human being does, and he obviously cannot replicate human emotion into his writing. Anyway, they remastered what was it? Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, depending on where you live. And that was not worth a remaster. That was never mastered in the first place. It's just
Yeah.
it's a game I think deserves a remaster.
What?
Saints Row 2. Now that game was masterful. It was
That's also a
so
game that
much
actually is in
fun.
the realm of feasibility to remaster.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It had so much great, unique stuff to it. I mean, I can't think of another game on the planet where you can get in the fucking sewage truck and just spray shit at houses. And not only do that, but have the game reward you for it. Beyond Two Souls. Thank you, Muffin. That was the name of the other one. But not Dark. Saints Row 2 is worth a remaster. I don't think it's ever going to happen because Deep Silver is a bunch of fucking smacktards. But if they were to remaster a game, my vote would be for Saints Row 2. However, just because it's not modern and it isn't remastered doesn't mean I can't play the original and have fun. Like people say,
Hold
"Oh,
that thought for one. Hold on. I gotta take care of something. Just 5 seconds here.
Okay. Well, I shall keep talking in his absence. Because I'm yawning. Help me. But people always say, "Oh, this game needs to be remastered. I want to play this game. You should
Sorry, I have a screaming idiot here.
Your cat?
Yes.
Which one?
Who do you think Osborne, the littlest, who
Ah.
somehow thinks that the moment I sit in my office chair, hey, it's time for pets.
What you ought to do is like sit other places in your house and give him pets, but when you're in your office chair, don't give him any attention.
You don't think I've? You think I haven't tried that?
I don't know. Cats are fucking dumb.
He loves me for some reason.
I read a claim that cats were incredibly more intelligent than dogs, and I'm wondering like how much of that guy's research he fabricated.
Depends
Because
on the dog.
you cannot tell me that a cat is anywhere near as intelligent as like a service animal, a service dog.
Oh, they
Anyway,
are. It's just a different personality. I mean, I
personality.
mean,
Whatever. We've had this. We've
purrs.
had
Oh
this.
God, fuck no! I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that pun shit. No,
I
I will
was
give it a.
not referencing a pun. I was joking about the fact that your cat has a personality.
I can't. I
Anyway,
cannot. I cannot say that
we
word anymore without somebody doing that pun.
we have had this conversation before, so I'm gonna skip it for now. But yeah,
I
people.
was gonna. I was gonna give you the point though. I was gonna say you were right though. I mean, dogs are more social.
Well, it's not just social; it's just measuring of intelligence.
They're pretty smart too. It's just
Oh, I'm not doubting it, but they definitely don't fucking show it. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand. You know, people say, "Oh, this game needs to be remade." I can't play these old games. They look old. I want the new graphics. Even though people forget that due to increasing demands for realistic graphics and
one out
high-tech
of 10 too much
lighting and
water.
like 4K resolution textures and all that, it actually makes a difference to how long your game can be because the size just bloats incredibly due to these file sizes. So like the lower end your graphics, the more you can focus, uh, the more effort can go towards the game. These old games were long as shit because they had these very basic visuals. But as the visuals improved, there was less space for gameplay. It was all devoted to graphics fidelity. Look at the difference between Deus Ex and Deus Ex Invisible War. Anyway, off topic. Or no, on topic. Point is, you
Yeah,
can
it's on topic.
you can play old games. Just because they look old doesn't mean they're bad. All right? I've recently gone back and installed the M mod for Half-Life 2 and have been playing through that again. And yeah, the game looks good, but it's definitely not, modern 4K resolution, high end,
I
graphics.
recently re-downloaded the first Dawn of War so I can replay some of the better mods for the.
Yeah. And for instance, Skyrim. I mean, that game doesn't look all that great. Especially
I,
the lighting and the engine
okay, here's what
graphics.
stops me from playing Skyrim because somebody made a good point about what the next Skyrim game was going to be. Because I don't know if you
You mean
actually I don't know
Elder
if you saw this video.
Scrolls?
Yep, you're right. Sorry, Elder Scrolls game because somebody there was a YouTuber talking about how they're actually working on a
Yeah,
another Elder Scrolls
yeah.
game and the technology
They
that got leaked.
revealed this like last year.
No. This was recent, so you didn't hear about this.
Okay, what?
So Bethesda, all right. So Bethesda recently started talking about like going into more detail about how they're about releasing Elder Scrolls 6 and that they're actually making. Do you know who the Skyrim Granny is?
Yes, I do, and I saw that they've actually taken the first steps towards putting her in the game.
Right, and but what they talked about was when they saw the rendering technology, they
Mm.
actually saw how good it made it look in the game, or at
Yeah,
least with the technology. So
yeah.
people have some high hopes that this is maybe what we can expect.
Uh,
But this gets me maybe. But this is what I'm getting with like Skyrim here is what puts me off on playing like replaying Skyrim.
mm,
It's just how it doesn't matter how much you mod the game,
mm.
how spectacular you make it look. The part that always just takes me out of it is just how bad the motions.
Uh,
It's just so stiff.
well, there are plenty of animation mods to make the animations more fluent and
I haven't found any.
better.
I mean, I think I've tried most, if not all the good ones.
Have
It
you
still is just too.
have you been using FNIS, Four's new
Yes.
idols and Sky? Okay, good, because that's the only way to add fucking animations. But I don't know. My setup, I like it. The animations are fluent, and it's not just stop and start like jerky animations PS2 style. It looks nice. Though I will admit, it takes me out of it when they fuck up and then go back to the jerky stop and start movement.
Well,
But
what spoiled me is like, recent games that actually have done a good job. I mean, I keep going back to this when I talk about these kinds of games, is Metal Gear Solid 5.
the wait, what is that? The recent one? Is that Phantom Pain?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
It's even though I'm like a cat with a fucking laser pointer, just avoiding the story because hey, ooh, bug, gotta get the bug. It is such a beautiful game.
yeah, it looks good.
It looks good and it plays great. I mean, sometimes I just get lost in how well everything's just.
Yeah.
But it's recent shit like that, and then for some reason Todd Howard and them just see fit to use the same old crusty ass engine.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I don't want to, I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think I'm bashing on new graphics and I'm saying, I want games to look like Half-Life 1. I don't like this realistic, beautiful, environmental looking bullshit. Give me back the blocks. I want everything to be blocks. No, don't get me wrong.
Thank you, Gilbert Gottfried.
I like these games look great. Modern games look great. My problem is that they don't play too fucking well because there's less gameplay.
Oh yeah,
You get one of three scenarios. You either get a long game that doesn't look very good, you have a great looking game that is either very short or doesn't play very well, or you have a long, good looking game that is like 100 gigs.
you forgot the half and half is what I call it, and I'll give an example of that is No Man's Sky, because I've been thinking about replaying that, but there's some aspects on it that deters me from it because it's just missing here. What I mean by the half and half, there's a lot of shit in No Man's Skies that looks great. The atmosphere, the planets, the spaceships, all that looks just fucking great. But then you see the creatures, and forgetting about how like lazy some of them are generated, just how they move. Like I can't tell
The
you how many times I've seen.
animations.
Yeah, just how many times I've seen like a fucking carnivore chase you and he's floating when he should be running. Or when you just got your guy just standing there, it reminds me of somehow it's still too stiff, but it's just a little bit more fluid than Skyrim.
So your main gripe with games is animation.
My main gripe is that there's very few games out there that finds that happy medium with length of story, quality of motion, and quality of looks.
Well, I referenced it earlier. Half-Life 2 still holds up.
Well,
I mean,
that's
it
why I
was
said there's
yeah,
very few.
it was
There are some.
groundbreaking at the time with its facial animations and ragdoll physics. And here's the thing, it still holds up because they weren't going for hyper realistic, like cinematic mod looking shit where they completely rendered Alex Vance's vagina. I'm not joking. The guy who made the cinematic mod did that. Look it up. Prove me wrong. Anyway,
I actually heard that one.
that's hilarious. Uh, they just made it look good. They gave it an aesthetic and kept to it. That's why TF2 still holds up. Yeah, it doesn't look like recent game that came out, really fancy graphics. Help me out here, please. The latest Call of Duty game, you know, but it
Need
it
both
has
those.
it has an aesthetic. It has a consistent art style and aesthetic, and yeah, it's cartoony, but it's consistent. It holds up with itself, except for when you look at some of the fucking hats that come out recently, and that's why it still looks good. It hasn't aged because it hasn't dated itself by trying to be realistic. Look at any game on the PS2 that sold itself on groundbreaking graphics. That shit has not aged well.
Nah.
It dated
Actually,
itself. It shot itself right out the fucking gate because it was like groundbreaking graphics never before seen, and then like a year later, it looks like ass.
I was thinking the same thing about TF2 though, how well it's held up on all counts. That's one of the few games out there that actually meets the check mark.
Yeah, it's a timeless game.
But here's my thing though. That game came out what, like 2007, 2008,
Yes,
right around the
2007.
time there's a bunch of good Elder Scroll games and Fallout games, and yet somehow Valve managed to get good motions with 9 classes in a early on a very early multiplayer game, and yet not Skyrim, Bethesda still has not gotten that down
Well, that's
with their
because
latest
they
games.
refuse to update their. Actually, no. Both Valve and Bethesda are in the same boat of using one fucking engine over and over. But the difference is
But
that the
Valve's done it
source.
right.
The difference is that the source engine is actually a pretty fucking. I don't want to say fluent or well put together. I've seen ass loads of people
Competent.
complaining about source, but it was competently made. It works. Fucking Gamebryo. Jesus Christ. Ugh. I suppose people are gonna jump out of the woods and bite me in the ass and be like, Source doesn't work at all! Look at my game I put together! Look at my mod! I made this in 12 minutes with Source and nothing works! Yeah, you're comparing one modder, maybe even a group of modders, versus, professionals. So it's not really a contest. And then oddly enough, you compare Skyrim modders to Bethesda, and it's embarrassing how good the modders are.
Yeah. Some ways they do. Too many ways. Not some ways. Too many ways they do it better.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. So, I don't know. I guess the point is Valve is awesome and Bethesda sucks. It's so weird though. They didn't always suck. They didn't used to suck. What happened?
I don't think they suck. I think they just gone down a dark path here, and but hopefully, if they are actually doing what they say they're doing with Elder Scrolls 6, I think they will be able to dig themselves out of this hole they've created them for themselves.
I hope so. But by bringing by bringing up Elder Scrolls 6 again, you reminded me of something I wanted to raise. Seeing the images of Skyrim Grandma rendered for Elder Scrolls 6 and seeing just how well it's done and how good the graphics look, it makes me wonder, are they putting more points into graphics than they are into gameplay?
Time will tell.
Yeah, because it's very obviously still in development, and we're not going to see like a beta or a demo for a very long time. But
I think we'll see a beta by next year.
I'm not going to be optimistic about it because that way, when it comes out, I'll either be A, right, or B, pleasantly surprised. For instance, I recently had a blood test done not too long ago, and I got the results back recently. And holy shit, my blood is
You have
awesome.
cancer.
No, here's the
Oh,
thing.
damn.
I went in expecting the doctor to come in with a very grim look on his face. But no, he came in and he was like, your thyroid is good, your A1C is 6.6, which is a very good number. All your vitamins and your proteins, that's all good. And my blood is fine. It's like 99% fucking perfect. I was expecting him to come in and tell me I had like blood cancer or something. But no. And he was told, yeah, your blood's great. You're doing fine. Keep up the good work.
Hey,
And
did you
I
realize you
was,
have diabetes?
yes, since I was for like the past 13 years. He's like, oh, okay, just checking.
Huh, yeah. Imagine that.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
that'd be $2,000, please.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, so yeah, I was really fucking blown away. I was very pleasantly surprised because I didn't have blood cancer, and it looked good. So that's great.
Diabetes.
Just my advice is take the pessimistic approach to stuff, because again, you'll either be right or you'll be pleasantly surprised when you're wrong.
I got no. Honestly, I have no opinion on it. I'm just wait and see. It, there's a lot of other stuff that I'm actually looking forward to, like the Master Chief Collection coming out.
Yes,
I
that.
actually I do want to play that.
Yes, I myself do have fond memories of playing Halo Reach with friends, but I'm wondering if the nostalgia is gonna drop a lot of people on their ass.
All right. I've actually wanted to play the remake of Halo Combat Evolved. That and Halo 2 here because I had a lot of fun memories playing those games, both the
Yeah,
campaign and the multiplayer.
yeah.
And now they're releasing all that shit plus the other shit that they've remade. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. And in preparation for it, I've actually been looking up some Halo lore, some videos here, and
Oh
I actually
God, the Halo lore, Jesus Christ!
I'm honestly surprised how some of it is. I won't
It's
say it's on 40K standards, but it's not bad. It's not terrible.
I want to say that it's definitely hit the fucking like depths of Warhammer, because it is
They're trying. They are
bizarre.
clearly trying. No, they are trying.
I don't want to even say they're trying to match Warhammer. I think it's the same problem that Warcraft has, where one dude sat down at a computer, started writing, and never fucking stopped. It's ridiculous. There are fucking textbooks worth of shit, and
Oh yeah.
it's insane. And the difference between that and like Warhammer or Warcraft is that I'm completely disinterested in all of it, despite spending more time on Halo than I've spent on Warhammer or Warcraft combined. I care more about the other two than I do Halo, because it's just really not that interesting.
Hear more about the earlier Halo lore than like the latest one, like Halo 5. I could not give enough fucks about the latest part.
Yeah.
I just they kind of just fucking suck. It's like any other fucking normal person can be a Spartan. I liked it better when there was Spartans and then ODSTs were a thing.
Yeah.
'Cause
Speaking
actually, I
of,
like I
why are they gonna remaster Halo 3 ODST? That was the best Halo game.
because it's a simple thing to this goes back to that extra credit guy. It's actually a very simple game to remaster. Not overly complicated, and all it needs is just basically a fresh coat of paint, and hey, it's good to go.
Yeah, why not?
And people will buy,
Why not?
or rather, it will come with the Halo collection.
No, it's not.
It's not
It's not in the Halo collection. They're the Master
really.
Chief collection. Yeah, I know this for a fact.
Well, fuck me then.
Yeah, I know, right? Why not?
That's what you meant.
I'm not asking as a joke like, "Hey, why not remaster the one that didn't sell too well?" I'm saying, "Why not remaster it?" As long as you're down in the fucking barrel like digging shit out and putting a fresh coat of paint on it.
I
I know it's at
imagine
the
that.
bottom of the barrel, but come on.
I imagine that's gonna be part two. And to be fair, in my opinion, the bottom of the barrel was Halo Wars.
Hey, I liked Halo Wars.
I never could get into it, but then again,
I think Halo's a good setting for an RTS.
I think maybe it was more because I was playing a real time strategy on a console.
Yeah, that was a bit fucky.
I remember playing this thing. I'm like, I'd rather be using a mouse and keyboard rather than
Yeah.
a fucking controller.
Yeah, RTS is a genre really dependent on PC gaming.
Mm-hmm. I think I made too many mistakes because of the fucking control.
Yeah, I know I've made quite a couple. But getting back to the Master Chief Collection, like the actual collection and the games that are going to be in it, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I have a lot of fond memories of playing it with friends and having a lot of fun. But I think we have to face the fact that the Halo games are not exactly known for their stellar gameplay.
Oh yeah. No.
They were mind-boggling when they came out. Like Halo 1 when it came out was fucking revolutionary. It revolutionized FPSs for the worse, I imagine, but it was still insanely popular and it did really fucking well. And a lot of people have fond memories of playing it. And I'm sure people are gonna.
Dude, it does come with Halo ODST.
It does.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Here,
brother! Pre-purchase now. Get my money. Give me that. No, no.
all right. Featuring Reach, Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 Reach, not Reach, Halo 3 ODST,
Huh.
campaign, and just the campaign, and Halo 4.
Oh, it doesn't come with that like weird ass siege mode it had. Damn.
I think isn't that just free on Steam?
I don't know. Okay,
Actually, what the fuck was that, Eve? Are you talking about that Halo 5 Spartan or whatever the fuck.
No, Halo 3 ODST. There was like the single player campaign
Oh,
stuff.
oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, why not bring that? Come on, guys. Fuck you.
Especially when they're like, hey, you could be Sergeant Johnson.
Yeehaw.
Ow!
It's great.
Badass mother.
But yeah, Halo isn't exactly stellar in the gameplay department, nor the story department, because in game it's very, very, very shallow, which is fine for an FPS, I guess. But I prefer something a little more. So I'm just worrying that like they're gonna get a lot of sales, people are gonna snatch it up and play for like a month before they get sick of it.
Halo, all right, both on this Halo lore wise, they started off like really shallow. Then they try to get deep, and in some ways it's been okay. In other ways, it feels more like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Well, the
But as far as
lore at this point is very, very deep, but the in-game inclusions are either non-existent or it's just confusing.
far as gameplay goes, I mean, since you remember fondly Halo Reach here, you remember when everyone was freaking out that the Master Chief can finally sprint in this game, even though you weren't the Master Chief, you were. But yeah, this was like what game 5,
Yeah,
and they finally put an option in there for a Spartan to sprint.
like an
But
option
it was
that
a
games.
power up though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a power up you have to select over different, more interesting power ups. The game finally realized in like 2011, 2012, what games have been doing for years now is having a fucking sprint option. Good work,
But they made it a power up.
good work, Bungie. They were still in charge at the time, I think. Good work, Bungie. You fucking mongoloids.
Well, no, they almost did it. Again, it was a fucking power up with
Well, they
shields
got the
and
idea.
jetpacks and all sorts of other shit. And along with that, like, hey, sprint.
They got the idea. They had the idea of sprinting, which is which actually it really isn't necessary in the campaign because the levels are so fucking short.
Combat version of when Oak said you can't.
What? Your mic's quiet. Speak up, boy.
I said it was the combat version of when Oak said you can't get that in here.
Your voice got all muffled from your head being so far up your own ass.
No, I was just getting silent there to be Professor Oak whispering in your ear saying you can't use that item.
Yeah.
Cut that shit out.
You can't sprint on this bridge. It's too small. Actually, I remember that level quite fondly.
Actually, fucking side story here since I brought up Professor Oak for a second. So my brother, yesterday we were grocery shopping.
Fun.
And my brother randomly calls up my wife and says, "Hey, I need you to trade with me." Now, side note here, my brother is a fucking spaz. When he gets something in his mind here that he needs, he just bugs the fuck out of you for it. So, and it's like 6 o'clock. He's like, "Hey, where's your wife?" And I'm like, well, I'm at the grocery store right now, Steven. Oh, okay. I just need to trade her for a second. Could you tell her to call me back here? And get on her console. I'm like, dude, she's at the grocery store with me. What do you need? I just need an Alakazam. I'm like, okay, you're gonna be waiting for a little while here. I know here, but I just need that. I have my champ already. I'm like, okay, can you wait like an hour and a half? Yeah, sure. I guess.
So your brother's one of those psychotic 100% Pokemon fans, huh?
Well, yeah, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to go for 100%, but there's more to this story.
Okay.
We get home and he wants her to trade her Mew to him just so he can get the Pokédex industry entry here. And she's like, well, why don't you just go out and buy the Pokeball? That way you can always have Mew. I want to spend money for that. Side note to that too is my brother is a G without being a G. He will not spend any. He will not spend any money unless he absolutely fucking has to.
I can't blame him. Come on, man. Money's nice. I mean, the best part about having money is just putting it all in a pile and never spending it.
The best part is having it to enjoy sometimes.
Yeah.
Another side story to that before I get back to the Pokemon story. Years ago, we're taking care of ourselves while our parents are gone for the weekend here. and they leave us some cash to get Chinese food. My brother's coming back from his wrestling track, and I said, "Hey, I ordered Chinese food. Can you go over to the store and pick it up?" "Oh, okay." So hey, you're gonna you have your well with your why? What do I need to do? I'm like, well, you're gonna have to pay. Wait, Mama trying to give us money. Like, would you chill the fuck out? I will give you the money that's here after you've paid for it. Just bring home the money. As long as I'm getting paid for it. I'm like, yes, you're gonna get your fucking money back. Shit. Do you want to eat?
Well, I mean,
So
I guess in that situation it makes sense because you were given money to
no,
pay for it, and you're telling him to
no, it
spend
doesn't.
out of pocket.
He freaks out when he has to spend his money, but when you're paying for it, it's all good, baby.
Well, no,
It's all good.
okay. First off, the best. I'm having a stroke again. Help! The number one rule of money is to never spend your own. And second, again, in this situation, it makes sense because you were given money to spend on the Chinese food, and then you're telling him to go and pay out of pocket with the promise that he'd be recuperated, instead
I
of just
promise he's gonna get it back.
why didn't you just give him the money before he left?
Well, actually, I didn't know he left.
What?
I
What?
Well, he
Oh,
just left. Yeah, I didn't
oh,
know he left yet. He
okay.
was on his
He
way.
wasn't. Okay, I thought he like came home, and then you were like, "Hey, go pick
No,
that
no, no,
up."
no. He was on his way home. He called me and told me, and I knew what route he was going. He was like, "All right, it's on the
Okay,
by the Chinese restaurant. Can you go up?"
okay.
Getting back. All right, getting back to this here because there's
Yeah.
another cheap story here. So they're trying to get the trade set up. Right?
Right.
Now he asked. Now he somehow the topic came up that does he need a membership? Because I guess Nintendo now has a membership thing like Xbox Live, except for theirs is a
What?
lot cheaper. They have one. Well, because they're actually paying for better service. However,
Oh.
like Xbox is like $50, theirs is like 20, and you get like a
50.
shit ton of food.
Whoa, 50. Hold on. I
Eh,
remember spending like 15 a month.
I forgot how much Microsoft's is, but I know it's a lot more than Nintendo.
I'm sure.
But but Nintendo actually also gives you a bunch of free stuff like get that new Tetris game, the new Tetris Royale that came out. Plus,
God,
they
that's
give
dumb.
you. It actually is fun.
Oh, I'm not doubting it, but I'm just saying it's a dumb idea. And
No,
it
it's
is
it's
nice.
such a
It is nice to
it's
see all these kids, like these streamers, going in and getting sniped by like Tetris masters in their like 50s. Just some stay-at-home mom with too much time on her hands
see,
plays too
that's
much
the other thing.
Tetris.
All right, before I get off topic here, that's the other weird thing is you
Oh,
should be able
you've
to
been off
stream stuff.
topic. Don't worry.
I know. Anyway, you get a bunch of other free shit too, like you get classic games and like good
Nice,
ones, not the obscure ones.
nice.
So we're explaining that, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to pay $20." Oh, okay. Well, Mom has Amazon Prime, right? You get it for free for 12 months. I don't know. I don't need it. I'm like, dude, it's free. She's like, it's free for 12 months. You're gonna. Well, eventually he does sign up for it so he can get his Alakazam, and they trade. After she's explained to him 100 times that hey, there's also the option that you can get a low-end versions of certain Pokemon. Oh, okay. Then he actually sees one of the low ones like, whoa, what is that? That's the alone one we're talking about. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Your
Yeah, my little
brother,
brother is.
it may just be how you're describing him, but your brother strikes me as like high functioning autistic.
That's actually a good way to put it. Yeah, that's actually a very good way to put
So you finally trade him the Alakazam he's been dying
it.
for.
She did. I don't have a Switch,
So
but
you
yeah.
finally trade. Come on, keep talking.
Yes, 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 yes. It fucking happens. It's happily ever after. It's only a matter of time before he starts bugging her to trade again here for something else.
What can you say? The guy's got to be a Pokemon master. Got to catch them all.
I don't know. I guess I was the different one here. Actually, I was more focused on a stronger team because I guess I always felt bad about keeping them all in little balls and stuck in a computer all day like a virus.
I never cared because they weren't real animals.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah, no, my brother's a fucking spaz, and he bought and he basically we had to be home in time for him to trade his fucking Pokemon.
Okay, well, it's glad to know you have familial issues like the rest of us.
I have an interesting family. Let's just say that.
Yeah, so do I, but I think mine is a different level of interesting than yours, because Whenever I hear people say they have an interesting family, they always mean like, my uncle's in jail for making meth and my grandma's my daughter. And it's like, what the fuck?
Nothing like that. No.
The weird thing about my family is we're not like your average family. Like, when you think of a family, what do you think? You think like mom, dad, you, your siblings, maybe an aunt or an uncle, and then your grandparents, right?
Uh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a very large family. Let's see. There's Big Mom, Big Dad, Uncle Wally, my dad, and uh, Aunt Aunt Leslie. Leslie has one, two, three, four, five, 6 kids. Uncle Wally has 2 kids. Those 2 kids have two each. Then there's me and my brother, and I have a shit ton of I have a very large extended family, and the weird thing is that we're all very close. We all live in the same, the same Central Florida, and we have regular family meetups and get-togethers and all that. And for the longest time, my grandfather, my dad's dad, who I refer to as Big Dad with the rest of my cousins, has been sort of the patriarch of the family. He's the one that keeps us all together and hosts events and all that. And
Hmm.
he's recently been suffering from dementia, and it's very
Oh.
heartbreaking to see. Yeah, but at the same time, my uncle Wally, my dad's older brother, is sort of stepping up to take over as the head. And it's this weird sort of clan system that we have going on. And it's, I've always been used to this. This has always been my family, just a big, open, very connected family. And I hear about these other people. It's just like, oh yeah, it's just me, and like my parents and my brother. I'm like, that's that's depressing. How can you
No,
have such little
we got the
family?
no, we got that kind of family too here. It's just now we don't do the family meetups as much anymore because my dad's sisters are kind of spaz.
Well, everyone's
I
got their
for
spazzes.
well, for example, how extended my family is. I have an uncle named Termite.
Is that his
Who-
legal name?
No, that's what they call him at at the
Oh,
firehouse.
damn. I was about to
But it's
say, that's the funny.
oh no, he's known around town as Termite.
Why?
I don't know.
Does he
I
eat
fucking don't.
wood?
I don't fucking know
Does
why
he
they call him
invade
Termite.
people's houses? Do people like pull up the tiles in their bathrooms and very often find him under there
I
chewing on
can
the fucking
there is
floorboards?
no explanation for him because this man does not look like he should be called Termite. He's a big fucking dude. He's he's a big fucking dude who's a part-time firefighter and owns his own fucking lawn care business. And they call him Termite. I don't know why. They just call him that.
I mean, it could be worse. Your legal name could be Zoltan.
Yeah, I guess it could.
Uncle Termite.
I have an uncle that actually is kind of infamous in my college when he was getting his master's. He got so drunk that he ran across the football field butt naked, chased by the cops and the police
That's not
dogs.
that uncommon. But that is
The
still an
football
amusing
field was
story.
the football field was supposed to be closed though because there was not supposed to be a football team at the time.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say it was occupied by a football game.
No.
That
No,
would
this was
make it
like
interesting.
nah. Unfortunately, it was not. I'm not that lucky.
So he was just loitering, drunk, and naked in a football field, and the cops got called? Or
No,
was he
he was
on the
already
run from the cops and cut through a football field?
he was on the run and he cut clear across the fucking football field.
That's
Like from what
great.
I understood, he ran the whole 100 yards.
Nice. I have a few interesting stories about my family as well. Like, for instance, my uncle Wally, I mentioned him. His name isn't Wally or Walter or Walton or anything like that. His name is Eddie. He is Eddie Jr. My big dad is Eddie Sr. But to my knowledge, he's known as Wally because of our last name. I'm not going to bother mentioning it because then people will get
That's
the
fine.
idea to mention me by name. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll do it now. I'm not afraid to mention my name on, like on the videos or on the stream. My name's
Sure.
Brent. My name is Brent.
Okay.
Don't call me that, all right? Just call me Bucket Crust. The reason I
Name is
don't
Brent.
mention it is because I don't want people to call me by my name. Like if you're just watching the stream, don't come in here and act like you're chums with me. I'm your streamer for the evening. Call me Bucket Crust.
People call
Like
me Mr. Brink. Thank
call
you.
me Mr. Crust if you will. But like we're not, we're not friends. We're like you're my viewer, I'm your streamer. Don't come in here and act like you know me. But I'm not afraid to
Your name
come
would be
out.
like Dave or something.
No, my middle name is David actually. I'm not afraid to mention that one because literally no one in my life ever uses my middle name, and I haven't been referred to by my middle name since I was about 6. I sometimes forget I have one.
All right, we're 2/3 of the way there. Now we just need a last name, and then we can hunt you down and swat you.
Waldheim, go nuts. I'm not afraid. Go
Okay.
nuts.
No, there you go, Gage.
Yeah, go nuts. I don't give a shit. I don't give away
You
my
can send
personal information. I mean, you can look up any any YouTuber's name. Like, everyone knows PewDiePie's name is Felix. Swedish last name. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing it. No one cares. Everyone just calls him PewDiePie. But anyway, getting back to the family story. My uncle Wally, he was referred to as Wally because his last name was Waldheim, so everyone just called him Wally, and that stuck. And now literally everyone knows him as Wally, and it's fucking bizarre.
At least that makes more sense than termite.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, funny story is pretty much everyone in my family went to the university, like the state of Auburn University or whatever the fuck it's called. They went to Auburn. They just call it Auburn. Uh, jeez, yeah, Auburn State or something like that. Anyway, and
Just called
while up there, my uncle Wally, and my uncle Trip, who, by the way, Trip is not his name. Don't ask me how he got it.
Fuck it, I know a bunch of people named Trip, and their name actually isn't Trip. Trip is just a name that they call themselves. Is a
Okay.
very popular Southern nickname for some
Okay.
reason.
I had never heard that before. I thought he had an amusing anecdote about him having a great big spill, but no, they just call him Trip. Anyway, my Uncle Wally and my Uncle Trip managed to get themselves banned from an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet in Alabama.
I've done that. Not in Alabama, but I've done that.
Apparently, what they would do is while they were going to college up there, college kids, they eat a lot and they don't like to spend a lot. So they'd go to this Chinese buffet and just binge and gorge, and they, just eat as much as they can. And they do that every other day. And, it would be cheaper than, getting like individual meals for the day. And it got to the point where the owner fucking banned them. To the point where they are still currently banned. Like they cannot, like they've tried to go back and they've been met at the door like, no, you're banned. Get out.
To be fair, these fucking Chinese restaurants, when you're that age, they're the best fucking thing in existence, both
Oh
in
yeah.
quantity and quality.
Oh yeah. I never understood the stereotype that Chinese food you're hungry an hour later. I've never had that.
I don't know.
Okay, your mic is doing something weird where it fluctuates between being very loud and very quiet.
I have a fan behind me because it's kind of hot.
Okay, can you like position
Yeah,
yourself?
I've turned it down. Anyway,
Okay.
all right, we got banned though because the Chinese restaurant owner was like he got sick of the offensive line showing up there every fucking Thursday and eating them out of house and home. And it wasn't just me doing this. We had some big fat motherfuckers come in there, like this big black dude named DJ that I swear to God he was like 100 pounds short from being on my 600-pound line. And they
So
would just we would just
big,
come in
just walking slabs of beef.
yeah, and we would just stay there for like 4 straight hours, just eating.
Loitering and eating.
No, not even Lauren. We were eating.
Yeah.
They were eating too much. Got to the point where it's like, no, you guys can't fucking come back here.
You order
Too
off
much
menu.
You drink too much Mountain Dew and you eat too much beef and broccoli. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Restaurant. I mean, Chinese buffets. They're the fucking best. Even if you're like in like when I was in Daleville, Alabama. The
Bayville.
one the one good restaurant in this little bum hick town of Daleville, Alabama, which look this place up and literally it can be defined with a laundromat and a McDonald's and a sub.
Alright, hold
Was
on. I'm looking this up.
you gonna look it
So,
up? You gonna look it up?
Daleville, Alabama.
Yes.
Daleville, Alabama. Okay, I'm on maps. It's a pretty small town here. What's the name of the place?
Oh no, the restaurant is non-existent
Oh,
because when I went back last year to work again at that base, the one good part about this place was closed.
oh, that sucks.
For some reason, it has a sushi bar.
You'll find the
Which
weirdest stuff in the weirdest places. They
well,
got a
alright.
Bojangles though. All right, so this town is doing well for itself.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Boj. It's
I'm seeing a lot of churches though. Like Daleville Baptist Church, literally within a mile of some place called For His Glory.
hold up. Side note that I forgot to mention about Daleville, Alabama. For some reason, there is a shit ton of Asians there.
Yeah, Korean house,
They're,
Thailand.
the only group that's not represented there is the Chinese with the Chinese restaurant. That one closed down and was
Thai
demolished.
Xiam. I don't speak Chinese. Don't kill me.
Well, no, it's not Chinese because there's no Chinese restaurant there.
Oh, Siamese. Actually, I think it is. Fred's Pharmacy. Don't worry, they got Fred's Pharmacy. Rocky
Not too
Creek
bad.
Seafood. I like it. What?
Oh yeah, that place. They all right. I had a coworker that said that place was actually good to eat, but I do not eat at any seafood restaurant that not near any fucking any ocean.
Yeah, unless you know where they're getting the seafood from.
Yeah.
That's understandable, I guess.
Now the big allure to Daleville, Alabama is it's close enough to a bunch of minor cities like Dothan that it's also a very spaced out area with actually a lot of beautiful nature, including the river that flows through there. Which actually, if you look through the Google images, you can
Yeah.
actually see some of it.
Yep, I see it. That's
So
no, that's a regional thing. Hold on. I'm
so
not
a
seeing the
lot of
actual
the
name.
so a lot of the more native military officers, the government workers, or just a lot of uh, business owners in the area will actually buy up large sums of property out there for cheap, and they will build very gorgeous houses out
Eh, I'm not seeing a name for the river, but it connects to Lake Thalaco,
there. Baco. That sounds
and there's like a.
familiar.
I'm seeing a lot of names for like different branches, like there's Snell Mill branch and all this, but Line Creek. Oh, here we are, Nope, that's just a. Oh, here we are, the oh fuck, it's a Native American. Choctawhatchee River.
I
Choctawhatchee. Choc-
okay.
Choctawhatchee,
No,
something
no,
like that. I don't know.
you're right with that with Chakwachi.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. There actually is a really nice park in that area, which has a good jogging trail. I used to go running by.
Nice. Okay,
It's a nice area.
you were saying about the Chinese place in this town.
Anyway, yeah, it's fucking closed down. If all right, so I'm looking at the
Sucks.
map now. All
Mhm.
right, do you see where the Taco Bell is?
Yeah.
It was right across from that,
Oh,
right by the Thai place.
it really brought the town together, you know.
It did.
Shit, man, where we gonna get our minorities now?
Actually, if you go south from there, down to where McLinn's is,
Mhm.
right below McLinn's is the Daleville Inn and Apartments. That's where I stayed at.
Ah, okay.
I hated that place.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the people were nice. The apartments were okay, but it was one of the first of all, it was one of it's really dated. They took
Mm.
like an old motel and turned them into apartments and still motel at the same time, but
Hmm.
they haven't update their HVAC, so they all have like the wall units. So when
Yeah.
you get those really hot Alabama summers,
Oof.
the only room that stays cool is where the unit is, and during the winters, the only place that stays warm is where the unit is.
Shit, that sucks.
So basically, I was limited. So when I was at home, I was basically limited to staying in the apartment and Also because this is technically a hotel motel.
Mm.
I had no control over the internet, so I had to go with the shitty hotel internet. So I think this is about the time we started hanging out, and my internet just absolutely fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And I remember this. I kept disconnecting.
Yeah, I remember that. What's
But
up,
if I
Bunky?
wanted to do, but if I wanted to do anything, I had to go down, and if you zoom out, I had to go down to the city of Dothan. Fuck Enterprise. There wasn't much to do there. Um, I mean, there's some nice neighborhoods, but as far as shit to do, not much else. And then forget about Ozark.
Alright. Okay, well,
If I
getting off of the
getting off of beautiful southern Alabama.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm a city slicker. I've lived my whole life in the city, and the one time recently when I went up to Georgia, just seeing for miles and miles in all directions on the highway, just absolutely fucking nothing but trees, the occasional hay bale, and a church. That is absolutely horrifying for me. It's just so empty and so boring. I honestly cannot see the appeal. And every time I see like some big, nice, open, lush green field here in Florida getting bought up and replaced with pavement, I wonder why don't you guys move a state up and help them out? Because they could use a lot more development up there.
Because no, Georgia relies more on farming.
No, but these weren't farms. These were just fucking empty, like not even forests. It was just trees, dead fucking trees.
I got no explanation for that. Maybe they was planning on being developed later on, or they were going to replant trees there. Because I know they do a lot of that shit up there.
Maybe.
What part of Georgia did you drive?
Uh,
Driving down like 95 or
it was some major fuck off highway into what is it? Not it starts with a. Oh fuck!
it's
It's
either
right on the tip of my tongue.
it's either 75 or it's 95.
It's where Fort Gordon is. It's Augusta. So it was leading into
Yeah,
Augusta.
and you're driving down 95.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yeah, it was I-95.
Okay, yeah, I-95. There's just, I mean, it hits all the major beach cities in Georgia, but yeah, there's just fuck all along.
Yeah, let's see. I think
You're not seeing the good part of Georgia here. You're seeing just the quick way.
right. Yeah, we passed through Jacksonville up to Savannah and then took a left on
Jacksonville.
I-80 to Augusta. And yes, Jacksonville is a shithole. Don't remind me. But yeah, so Augusta, that was so much nothing and so much empty fucking nothingness. It was absolutely horrifying.
Basically, if you go off of 95 and you start going up to Atlanta, then there's going to be a lot of forests, open areas, and then once you start getting closer to not Alabama, Atlanta, that's when things start to get really, really urban.
Yeah.
Georgia's got like a weird mix. A lot of the south, on the border of Florida, is pretty much open, but once you start getting closer to Atlanta and
Yeah.
Chattanooga and Tennessee here, that's when things start to get built up.
Yeah. Also, it just occurred to me that I-95 runs from the fucking south of Florida all the way up to Maine.
Yeah,
That's a
it
big
goes right
run.
through DC. I know that damn highway all too well.
Yeah, where was it? Washington. I, for some reason, have the damnedest time placing Washington, D.C. on a map. There it is. That quivering cesspit of a fucking place.
The last thing I'll say before I go to bed here is, since you mentioned Augusta and Fort Gordon, Augusta is actually a really
Yeah, it was a nice city. The mall was very
the mall's
surprisingly
great.
upscale.
The mall is great. The Riverside is it's really well built up. There's actually a lot to do there. I was the short time I was there, I was actually really happy, except for the shit I had to deal with at work.
Yeah, I
I,
just
I,
okay.
I had mixed feelings about leaving.
Yeah, okay, but I wanted to get off the Alabama topic to talk about Chinese food before we ended the stream because we're
Alright.
over 2 hours now. I've never had the issue where it's like, oh, Chinese food, I'm hungry an hour later. No, I eat Chinese food, I'm full the rest of the day. This may be because I don't eat like white rice. I always get like lo mein. I get the noodles. But there is a Chinese place not far from where I live called New Hong Kong, and this place is so
More
fucking good.
specific. So many places called that.
Yeah, I'm sure, but this place it's not a chain. There's just a lot of people with not very innovative name ideas. But this place is so fucking good. If you're ever in if you're ever in the Altamont area, go to New Hong Kong. It's such a great fucking uh, Chinese place. It is so good. My brother is obsessed with the place. He loves Chinese food, and he's probably eaten at every Chinese place in Augusta, Georgia. And he always says, nah, not as good as New Hong Kong. It's just so fucking good. And I always get the shrimp lo mein or the Mongolian shrimp. It's just really fucking good.
That's the one thing I can say about Augusta, Georgia. Is I never found a good Chinese place. I feel what your brother's feeling.
It may just be Augusta. Maybe he needs to go to Daleville.
Actually, there was no good replacement after, and they didn't deliver there either. I honestly, I have not found a good Chinese restaurant any place.
Well, keep trying. I mean, you never really see them, but once you go looking for them, they're all over the place.
Pizza.
All right. Well, to bring to a close tonight's
Yeah, because
podcast.
now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Um, learn what a prank is before you decide to pull one. Just saying something stupid and getting someone to turn their head isn't a prank. You have to get them to believe what you're saying and then pull the reveal on them. That's a prank. Just saying, hey, dipshit, you dropped your pocket. That's not a prank. What almost every single company did today was not a prank. Appreciate Chinese food and Chinese buffets,
I'm
but
engaged in a very expensive hobby.
yes, do not be afraid to engage in an expensive hobby.
No,
Uh,
I am in one here, but
yeah.
yeah, I guess that too.
Well, I mean, are you gonna back out now?
Oh fuck no.
Also, okay. It just occurred to me what Twitch did for April Fools. The bits are all like hand drawn. That's cute. It's real cute.
Oh, that is subtle.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But
What a great prank!
yeah, well, it's not a prank. It's just a little joke. But like
It's their prank, bruh.
people saying it's like, oh, fucking Rainbow Six Siege pulled a sick prank on us. No, it would be a sick prank if you logged on tomorrow and it was gone. It's not a prank. That's like them actually doing it as a sort of a jokey thing, but it's not a prank.
Pirate date.
New Vegas 2, that's not a prank. That's just sad because it reminds us of what we'll never be and how shithouse Bethesda has become recently. So, learn what a prank is before you try and pull one. And let me know if you'd like to see people with name recognition on the Podcrust. I could send out some emails because I have nothing better to do with my time. Oh, and also, I'm gonna be trying something different on the channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot more highlights from my streams. I'm gonna be compiling highlights and uploading those maybe once a month. We'll see how it goes, cause until they unleash a new case in TF2, I'm kind of shit out of luck for content. So I'll let you know. This has been another episode of Podcrust. I hope you all enjoyed, and who knows, maybe some of the viewers, or not viewers, but listeners are asleep by now, because I know some people use this to fall asleep. I know for a fact Gage does, and if you're listening to this, Gage, wake up!